Hello, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us tonight in this very special crypto webinar. So, if you're here for the very first time, please look for Passive Crypto Wealth in Telegram and join our Telegram channel so that you can be kept posted of interesting crypto insights as well as new crypto webinars that we are going to be holding for you. My name is Richard, and I'm the host and organizer for tonight's webinar. And please allow me a few minutes to introduce ourselves. And before that, a fun fact. Just wanted to check with you. If you were to invest $100 into Bitcoin 10 years ago, do you know how much you will have now? If you had invested $100 into Bitcoin 10 years ago, how much will your $100 turn into? Okay, so yeah, so you can type in the answer if you know, and then I'll be revealing the answer very soon. All right, so throughout the session, if you need to ask questions or want to ask questions, please feel free to type into the chat box that you see on your screen. If you're using a mobile device, then you probably have to scroll up or down to look for that chat box to type it in. And then at the end of the sharing that our speaker tonight will be doing, I'll be selecting your questions to ask her. Okay, so let me now review the answer. If you had invested 100, I think not called investing 10 years ago. If you buy Bitcoin 10 years ago, you have a very good foresight because your $100 that you spent to buy Bitcoin 10 years ago will turn into $9.2 million. Okay, so yeah, if you did that, you're a millionaire. Well, I didn't. Okay, so just a little fun fact. Okay, so let me move on. Now, I want to share with you, I'll introduce to you this gentleman. He's a very old man now, but when he was much younger, back in 1952, he won the Nobel Prize for economics. And he won the Nobel Prize for economics because he shared a very important concept in investing. It's so important that till today, many of the fund managers are still using what he has shared in his paper back then that he wrote. Okay, you may have heard of it. This is called the modern portfolio theory. And in his modern portfolio theory, one of the key ingredients is this word called diversification. Because we won't know what will happen to the different assets that we hold, the stocks or the trading methods or the trading system or whichever crypto. But the way to reduce risk is to diversify because that is within our control. And he called it, in fact, he invented this phrase saying that diversification is the only free lunch. So even though tonight you see something that could be very exciting to you, do not go all in. Okay, you must diversify. Only put in a small amount of your portfolio that you can afford to explore crypto with. All right. So traditionally, we know that we can diversify into stocks, bonds, properties, gold, forex, and so many different things, right? So what is the new asset class that we can diversify into in the recent years? I believe that asset class is called crypto, right? So that's why we are here for. So is it only me who is saying that? No, there are across the world, there are many people that are saying that already. So for example, this US Federal Reserve Governor called Kevin Walsh, he said that if you are under 40 years old, then Bitcoin could be your new gold. And the former Canadian Prime Minister lists Bitcoin as a possible future reserve currency, maybe, together with US dollars. And Bitcoin has also caught the attention of institutions. And this institution called Grayscale is now managing a $20 billion portfolio just holding Bitcoin. And in fact, if I'm not wrong, last week, they have just registered another 6 crypto assets to invest into. Right? And there is a very big news in Singapore. last year, end of last year. Do you know what is it? It's not the vaccine news, right? But it's in the realm of crypto. And that very big news last year was that our national bank, DBS, has also decided to enter into the crypto world by launching their full service digital exchange, right? So this was their press release on the 10th of December 2020. Right? So they'll be providing digital exchange with fiat, meaning Sing dollar, US dollar, Hong Kong dollar, Japanese yen, and crypto, which are Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, and XRP. Now, in this same press release, the CEO, group CEO of DBS also said that they are welcoming the mainstream adoption of digital assets and currency trading. So perhaps in the not too distant future, we can log into our internet banking and buy crypto from DBS, right? But for now, until then, this service is not available to the typical retail crowd because in their initial launch, it will only be available to institutions and accredited investors. Okay, so I think in bank, they soon will be able to also hold a savings account in crypto in future. So it's very important that we diversify. All right. So it is with this idea that my friend and I, who also co-founded Wealth and Joy, decided to set up a separate community just to focus on crypto, and we call it Passive Crypto Wealth. So this is where we're going to invite industry practitioners of crypto to share with us very specific things that we can do in crypto. All right. So with that, I'd like to just for those of you who have just joined us today, to please join our Telegram channel, Passive Crypto Wealth, so that you can be kept posted of upcoming information and webinars that are crypto related. All right. So very important for every session, we need to have a disclaimer. Now, you are responsible for your own profits and losses. The speaker's opinion are their own and does not represent Wealth and Joy or Passive Crypto Wealth's opinion. Wealth and Joy, Passive Crypto Wealth, its owners, partners, and sponsors are not responsible nor liable for your losses. Wealth and Joy, Passive Crypto Wealth events are for education purpose only and should not be construed as advice. And if you are in doubt, please seek professional help. Now, with that out of the way, just want to let you know that please ask as many questions as you want by typing into the chat box that you see on your screen. If you're using a mobile device, you may need to scroll up or down to look for that chat box so that at the end of our speakers sharing, we can address your questions, okay? So also, in my communication with you, I shared that there'll be a 1288 USDC free trial that you can enjoy by coming to attend this webinar, and we'll share more information about how this works within the webinar itself too. And you can also stay tuned for another very special promotion that Matrixport is giving exclusively to our community tonight. So stay tuned. All right. So with that, I'd like to share with you tonight's topic, which is how to profit from crypto volatility. And tonight is our privilege and honor to be able to invite Miss Cynthia Wu, who is a founding partner of Matrixport, to share more about this topic with us. So Cynthia, would you like to take over the stage, please?
Hi, Richard. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, if I if I enable my video, it seems my audio will be impacted. So is it okay that I put it this way, because I just worry that the voice will go away?
Okay, okay, sure. Or do you want me to try to turn on your video?
Yeah, can you try?
Okay, let me try. Okay. I think you need to grant permission and then we give it a shot.
Sorry, I missed the key.
Okay, let me try again.
Oh, hi everyone.
Yes, we hear you and see you.
Great, great. Thank you. Let me share my screen. Um, yes. Hello. Can you see my screen?
I believe it's loading. Do you need to grant permission? Okay, yes, your screen is up.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks for the sharing, Richard. It's a very fun fact. Actually, I didn't know that actually if I invested $100 10 years back, I'm a millionaire now. But I guess it's not too late to know. And I guess the participants of tonight are also curious to learn more about what is it about crypto and what is the investment potential of this nascent asset class. So I'm happy as a industry practitioner who joined the industry for like almost like 3 years for now, and used to be a financial markets player before joining crypto. So I'm happy to sort of share a little bit of my personal journey in crypto and also my understanding of how to sort of make investment in crypto space. That's what our company Matrixport do right now. And also in the later part of the sharing, I would like to go through some of the popular products which kind of is loved by our users. So hope you find that useful. So a little bit about myself. My name is Cynthia Wu. I'm based in Hong Kong right now. I'm one of the founding partner of Matrixport. Currently, my role is like heading the global business development and sales. So before that, I actually used to work at a Hong Kong exchange 3 years ago for many years. Used to take the role of product development and as well as institutional sales. So my background was more towards sales trading. And before that, my first job was actually in commodity trading. When I actually graduated from Singapore, NTU. So when I graduated from Singapore, I went to Hong Kong, and my first job is like trading physical commodities in one of the global trading house. So that gave me sort of a view of from an angle to view at cryptocurrency at the early stage as a type of commodity, which I think is very similar to gold and some other commodities that I have came across. But it's more interesting than that because there's a technology layer of that, and there's a decentralized network which potentially could empower a much bigger like ecosystem around crypto than any other commodities. So that was the reason why I got interested in crypto in the first place in 2017. So may I know like among I think there are 50 people online right now. Like how many of you actually own crypto right now? Like or thinking of owning crypto?
Yeah, so if you own crypto or think of if you own crypto right now, maybe you can just type in the chat box number 1 so that we know. Okay, so Cynthia, later on we can check back on that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sounds good. Yeah, so a little bit about Matrixport before we dive into the crypto content. Yeah, so Matrixport is actually, we adopt a vision where we want to be able to make crypto easy for everyone because we feel that this now is still at a very, very early stage of this asset class. It's like a commodity in the early 90s, right? There's still a long way to go where more people will get to know this product. There will be more investment product around this asset class. It will be made more accessible by many intermediaries like bank, like DBS or other brokerages in the future. So as a pioneer in this space, we really feel that crypto is sort of an interesting asset class you should diversify yourself into, given the external macroeconomy where money has been printed so much, like in 2020, right? That's one of the theme why Bitcoin was invented like 11 years ago, because that's right after the previous financial crisis. A lot of money has been printed, banks has been bailed out. A lot of things that should not have happened actually happened, which jeopardized the financial sort of healthiness of the system and also the well-being of many common people, citizens like you and me. So that was the vision that sort of brought Bitcoin to birth, where we want to be able to create a decentralized currency system or stock value system where people is not prone to the inflations of all the financial sort of policies. So people can sort of control their own financial destiny. That's kind of that was the reason Bitcoin was invented. And after 11 years, which fast forward to 2020, we see similar things happen again, which has brought a round of global awareness of into this asset class, because people start to figure out, okay, wait, when this kind of thing happens, when we sort of helpless, there's another alternative asset there which is prospering, which could be part of the solution. So yeah, so coming back to Matrixport, so we are a spin-off from Bitmain in early 2019. People who know crypto a little bit more probably heard of this name Bitmain. So it's the world's largest mining equipment manufacturer. So Bitmain manufacture the mining rigs, the mining equipment, or the mining machines, which is used to mine Bitcoin. So it's a hardware producer, a market leader in the space. So Matrixport was a spin-off from that company because the founders of Matrixport believe that they want to sort of carry on into crypto financial services, because many years ago, the network is still Bitcoin network was still much smaller than it is today. What is lacking to build a robust network is a hash power. So that's why they built Bitmain, which produce hash power. And then there's a global miners use the mining machine to mine the Bitcoin to make the industry, the network secure and bigger and stronger, so it can take on more transactions. But later on, when it comes to end of 2018 and 19, we feel that the market is really getting much bigger beyond the circle of miners and sort of the Bitcoin lovers, the geeky sort of part of the population. It's getting into mass population where people are interested to look at this as a class, as an investment product. So then that's where we want to build this company called Matrixport, and to provide a one-stop crypto financial services where people can safely custody their digital asset. They can trade their cryptocurrency. They can make investment and earn a yield, or they can sort of pledge their crypto and borrow cash from the platform. So basically, we provide a one-stop shop for people's financial needs. Yeah, so these are the founders of the company. The one on the right is probably more well known because he is the founder, the biggest founder of Bitmain, and also was regarded by New York Times as a top 10 blockchain figures. And the one on the left is the CEO, who is actually co-founder of Bitmain with Jihan back in 2013. So they basically marched on to start it, Matrixport, and try to take the journey to make crypto sort of a more accepted by more like investors. And we're quite lucky to be backed by some of the world's leading investors in the East and West, including IDG, Lightspeed Ventures, and a couple of quite well-known like tier 1 VCs in the space. Yeah, currently we are 180 people globally. We have offices in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in 3 cities in China, and we have a small office in Zurich, Switzerland, and also a small office in Moscow, Russia. In terms of people that we working with us, mainly they're coming from 3 type of background. One is financial services, like myself. I used to work at Hong Kong Exchange. We have other colleagues who used to work at other investment banks or trading houses who bring a rich background of financial services. And we also have a very strong technology team who has combined with traditional like internet giants or as well as blockchain tech background. who bring basically try to bring you the web-based services and also the app-based services, so the users can enjoy a very user-friendly like user interface and user experience. And because we're running financial services, so compliance is important. We have compliance offices globally, basically to look at the local regulatory scheme and help us to acquire the necessary licenses. Yeah. So coming to the content, like crypto Bitcoin. Actually, I don't know whether you have seen this banner before, but this is one of the community initiative which has been quite become very eye-catchy that happened in 2020 in Hong Kong. So this banner has been put up in one of the tram stations just opposite to the HSBC global headquarters in Hong Kong, where basically it's sponsored by Bitcoin Association of Hong Kong. Basically, it's a community effort trying to educate the citizens of Hong Kong, like what is Bitcoin and why people should own Bitcoin. I think they have laid out some very interesting reasons, which I think are probably the reason that a lot of people should look at Bitcoin and what is that. Yeah, which I would like to share with you. So the first is that more US dollars have been printed in 2020 than were in existence in 2009. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Like we all know that Bitcoin is limited supply, right? The maximum amount you can ever get is 21 million, which will be depleted through mining around the year 2040. So around year 2014, there will be no new production of Bitcoin. All the Bitcoin has been mined, and then people who own and trade will be basically those Bitcoin that's in circulation. There will be no more production. So it's a little bit like a gold, where think about it, there's a limited amount of gold in the world, right? After but gold is probably much more it's much more than Bitcoin in terms of supply. It's just that the deeper you go, right, the cost of mining is much higher, so it might not justify to mine anymore. But there's always going to be like gold reserves underground, right? But for Bitcoin, it's kind of limited number. So once you go over that number, there will be like we should pay attention to is how much money printing has happened in 2020. The data actually showed us like 20% of US dollar was printed, 20% more US dollar was printed in 2020 than 2019. So which means by definition, the world's asset is in like a 20% inflation, right? Given of course it's not always the same for different asset class, but by basic definition, because there's 20% more like US dollar, your asset is the dollar you hold, the cash you hold actually devalued. And compared to like what how much cash is in existence in 2009, actually I mean, this more than doubled, right? So that's how crazy. That's why we see a lot of the asset has really been in sort of riding a roller coaster when it's just only goes one way up. It never goes down. The second reason is that because Bitcoin is sort of having adopt certain values or that gold has, it's scarce, it's divisible, it's transferable, it's verifiable, and it's tamper-proof. So people are saying that Bitcoin is better at being gold than gold. I think Richard also just shared that comment from another celebrity. And the third is that Bitcoin is not only an asset, it's also a technology. Because of the invention of Bitcoin, the blockchain technology was also invented. So far, the biggest application for blockchain technology is Bitcoin, but it doesn't mean that it will only be Bitcoin. So we have seen so many other like cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like EOS, like Ripple, and there's also like blockchains without cryptocurrency, where people are using blockchain as basically a decentralized ledger to to record the information, which is tamper-proof, right? Which is you cannot change the information without the consent of the network. So that brings a lot of value as well. Yeah, so the last comment was saying that once a new technology rolls over you, if you're not part of the steamroller, you are part of the road. So no one wants to be part of the road. We all want to be the steamroller. So it's good to keep an open mind to this new technology and see what kind of impact it can bring to our society, to the existing financial system, and to the well-being of the common citizens. Yeah, and on the right below the picture actually wrote there's a line which says the times, the date is January 03 to 09, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. So this is actually the remarks or the sentence which has been written into the Genesis block of Bitcoin. So that's you can regard this remark as the first sort of message Bitcoin sent out to the world. This also tells why Bitcoin was invented, right? Because I mean, the country is using the taxpayers' money to bail out banks during financial crisis, and people think that's not correct. Yeah, so how big is the cryptocurrency crypto market right now, right? We have seen it being discussed over and over again on the newspapers, on televisions, and how big is it? How many people are actually using or holding Bitcoin right now? So this is one of the latest data I put out this week. So the total crypto market cap is 1 trillion right now, whereas you can see the top 9, sorry, I don't have space to squeeze in the 10, so it's a top 9 representative of the cryptocurrency, where it's ranked by market cap. Bitcoin definitely is the winner, the biggest one. It currently has a market cap of 600 million, which is more than like 60% among all the others. The second, also the name you probably heard very often, is Ethereum, which is so Bitcoin is like a P2P network of payment system. You can understand as a P2P network of decentralized payment system, which I can pay anyone in the world without using a bank, right? I can simply use Bitcoin, type in the other person's addresses and pay a small minor fee, transaction fee, which probably costs me much less than the bank's transaction fee. So I can send money from one country to another, which through banks might take a day or even 2 or 3 if that other place is in a very remote corner of the world. So Bitcoin's biggest value you can understand as a P2P payment network. That's how it was invented. But of course now people are seeing it as many people see it as digital gold. So people start to sort of store it, like, so it starts to have store value utility, right? So people feel that, okay, if I buy a Bitcoin now and I never sell, maybe 10 years later I become I become a 10 times or 20 times. With that expectation, people are holding Bitcoin. So they're not only making payment of Bitcoin, but they're also holding Bitcoin like a precious investment. The second popular cryptocurrency is called Ethereum. So Ethereum is they have a very different idea when Ethereum was invented. So they don't want to become become a payment system. They think that's Bitcoin's job. So what they want to become is basically decentralized operating system. It's a little bit like Windows, but it's like a decentralized Windows where decentralized applications can run on it. So if you think of the future world as a giant computer where different apps is running on it, so there's going to be 2 systems. One is a centralized system where you have Windows or you have iOS, right? For example, iOS or Android. On that, you can get a lot of application from the app stores, and you can do a lot of things with the help of different apps. So that kind of concept is going to be moved into decentralized world as well. People are building Ethereum as an operating system, is decentralized operating system, and there are developers or communities that are building decentralized applications. So it could be a decentralized exchange, it could be a decentralized wallet, or it could be a decentralized media company, or it could be a decentralized voting system, for example, voting system, or decentralized banks, lenders on the Ethereum network. So that's what's happening right now. It started from financial services, so people call it DeFi. Like you probably heard of the name DeFi, decentralized finance. So these are the kind of application people are building on Ethereum. But maybe Ethereum will be the winner because it has been like 5 years old. It has a lot of the developer supports, a lot of like coders are writing code, writing apps on Ethereum to make this ecosystem prosper. But it might not be the only winner, right? There are other public chain network. For example, like Polkadot, the one on the fifth, or the other network who is also trying to take over Ethereum, or at least be sort of parallel to Ethereum to host their own systems and empower their own apps that's running on that blockchain. So in the future, you can imagine the world as a lot of different chains, right? Different public chain or different consortium chain or private chain represent different purpose, right? Certain chain are probably very, very good for payments, like cross-border payments. It can power a lot of big throughputs, right? So people can use that network to pay almost like instantly. They can be like maybe millions or hundreds of millions of transactions processed through that chain without any delay, and they could be like very, very low cost, much lower than using a bank to effect that payment. So there could be like payments. There could be certain chain that's specialized in payments. There could be certain chains which is specialized in lending and borrowing. Okay, lending services. There could be certain chains specialized in games, right? Mobile games, but now run on decentralized network. There could be networks that's for other purposes. So in the future, you probably see different chain represent the different functionalities, and there are people, a basic community that are using it for real purpose. And so these are not companies, right? If you imagine this chart in front of you as the stock market cap, you will see Tesla, you will see Apple, right? Which they create value for the users, for their shareholders, in the form of legal entity, right? Corporates. But now in the future, you can imagine that a lot of value has been created, or product has been created, market has been created through blockchain by different public chains. So now in the future, I might not be an employee of maybe Tesla. Okay, I might be work for another car company called whatever, like ABC, right? But that car company or the other company, they might operate their product and services on the blockchain, and then I probably hold their tokens, so I'm their shareholder per se, and I'm also using that token for certain payments. Let's say I could pay a car, I could use that token to pay for a car with a certain discount. So that's what we see as a token economy, where people are sort of organized in a different way, and additional productivity could be generated from this different form of organization. Yeah. So put things into perspective, like how big is Bitcoin right now, right? Just we said it's 600 some billion. It varies because the price is volatile. So how it compared to some other names or assets that we know? Tesla is a little bit bigger than Bitcoin. Probably next year, Bitcoin will surpass Tesla. Silver is like close to 2 times less than that of Bitcoin, and gold is much bigger than Bitcoin. So maybe the next target for Bitcoin is to become alternative to gold. So it will help. It probably take or share part of the gold market cap, and that divert that into Bitcoin. That's happening actually. So this year, when in 2020, when there's a lot of money printings happening, JP Morgan actually published a research report in Q4 last year, basically saying that they have seen more like money coming into Bitcoin as a sort of anti-inflation, anti-inflationary assets than gold. Of course, there's a lot of money goes into gold as well. Later, we will see from price performance, but because Bitcoin is much smaller, so the amount of money that come into Bitcoin makes the price appreciation much more significant than gold in relative terms. Yeah, this is a chart that Richard said he likes personally very much, so he want me to share this with everyone today. This is a chart which is published by U.S. biggest stockbroker Charles Schwab in 2020, which basically highlights in the IRA account, so which is the personal investment retirement investment account, what are the top 10 equity holdings held by different age groups, right? So millennials is people with age between 25 to 39, and before them is Gen X, which is now people between age 20 to 55, and the baby boomers are those after the Second World War, which is now 56 to 74. We can see that in their investment account, they hold different assets, right? Equities. Imagine like what kind of asset you buy in your investment account, because it's something forward looking, right? You must be buying something you think is going to worth more, or at least will not disappear or will not crash in value when you retire, when you actually retire, right? So that's something that people sort of believe in a little bit longer term, right? People think something will become more valuable when I buy it and in my investment account. So that probably tells a little bit of the value transition across different age groups, generations. So you can see that for millennials, Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Facebook, that's very easy to understand. That's something they talk about every day, they buy, they use, right? Yeah, the fifth one is called Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So what is that? That is something Richard just mentioned, which is a public trust listed in the US stock market, OTC market. Currently has a AUM of 20 billion. I think at the beginning of this year is probably a quarter of that. It just grows like 3 times during 2020 because, as I mentioned, the money printing and people, the new capital or belief that flow into Bitcoin. So this AUM is actually growing very fast. And then we can see that that already take over Berkshire Hathaway, was Disney, Netflix, Microsoft, Alibaba, to become something that the younger generation believe they want to hold. So it's not very hard to imagine, like after a few years, or maybe 5, or maybe 10, or maybe 15, gold probably will not be so popular as it is now, because people are, for younger generation, they probably don't want to hold gold. For them, they probably feel that Bitcoin is much easier because there's a much more utility holding Bitcoin as an anti-inflation asset than holding gold. You can still, there's so many things you can do with Bitcoin, right, while holding it, but there's very little you can do with holding gold. So that kind of perception is going to change gradually with generations. So with that kind of implied change of beliefs, the AUMs of a Bitcoin is very interesting to think about, to imagine. Even though I'm in the industry, it's still very hard to imagine how big the market will be in 5 or 10 years. Yeah, so this is the price performance summarized by one of the research institute in crypto digital asset. It's called Messari. So they basically summarize what are the performance of some of the more well-known asset class. So Bitcoin in 2020 definitely outperformed any other asset. Well, I think last year gold is also doing very well compared to its peers like bonds or cash or equities. But for those who invest in tech companies, they're probably also seeing a very strong growth as well. Yeah. So, but we see like crude oil is negative and USD index is negative. Yeah. So, so I don't know whether this will sustain this year. I think it probably is. Bitcoin is still going to be a very bullish asset this year. Maybe not 300%, but probably 80%, 100% is still something that I think the industry is having sort of consensus of. 2021 is going to be a strong year for this asset class. Yeah. I just touch base a little bit on decentralized finance. It's not going to be the focus today because it's a little bit complicated for it's a little bit a very steep learning curve for people who are not in crypto to understand DeFi. But basically, as I mentioned, as Ethereum become the operating system, there are a lot of application has been built on it. A lot of them is financial applications or financial products. So currently, we call it the DeFi, decentralized finance, in general, right? But it really contains all sorts of different applications. So currently, some of the popular application that's available now is decentralized lending, right? Where you can pledge your token, which has value. Basically, you can pledge certain valuable goods, right? With the system, with a smart contract, and then at the same time you can take a loan from it. So this is it's like traditional bank and traditional brokers, which has been like this kind of thing has been happening for thousands of years, but now it's being built on blockchain using a smart contract. So you don't need to face the financial advisors from the bank. You don't need to face anyone, right? Just trust the system is going to the program is going to operate as it's designed. Where if you pledge, let's say $100 with it in one of the token, right, where you can take 60% value of that loan, LTV, loan to value 60%. So all those are right into the program. So there's a lot of decentralized DeFi application who is holding like billions of dollars of they call it total value locked. So that's a value based. It's like AUM, but it's called total value locked because it's the value that's locked in the smart contract, in the program, in the software. There are like companies who having a $2 billion worth of total value locked. They only have 11 staff. It's unimaginable in traditional finance. Like for a bank or for any operator who need to service that big AUM. For example, we are like 2 years old now. We currently custody client asset is around 2 billion, right? So how many people we have? 180 people, and we're still expanding. But can you imagine like there's a DeFi projects who is holding like $2 billion of total value locked, but only have 11 people? Most of them are programs. They don't have any single sales. They don't need to sell because there's no like people just use a decentralized wallet to interact with with this protocol, right? With this smart contract. They don't need to be sort of they don't need to be there's no need of any intermediary. So this is something I think is going to be, it's still very small, right? It's the total DeFi ecosystem currently is 27.5 billion. If you look at 1 year back, I show you the chart, which is in this chart. If you look at 1 year back, it's probably only 200 million. Now it's over a course of year, so much money has flowed into DeFi because people feel that this is the way where a lot of people can sort of diversify into, or there's a way people can use their get access to financial services in the future. They don't need a bank. They don't need 3 brokers to tell them what to do. They can just browse through the all sorts of these DeFi applications, and then they figure out, okay, I want to be lending. Let's use this app, right? D app. And I want to be like doing derivatives. Let's go to that D app. And I want to be able to swap one asset to another. Let's go to a decentralized exchange to do that. I want to buy insurance. Let's go. So it's like a parallel world. If you never use it, it's like a parallel world which is existing right now. It's still very small compared to what we have right now here with all these centralized financial institutions and service providers. But this is very powerful because there's so many people in the world currently is not banked. We are the fortunate ones. We live in Singapore. We live in Hong Kong. We have many bank accounts. We have so many credit cards. We never run out of financial solutions. In fact, sometimes we're overwhelmed by them. We think there's too many choices, don't know which one to do. But there are so many population in this world that does not have a bank, that does not really have the luxury, the infrastructure, the abundance of financial services. We do, and this DeFi thing is going to be their bank in the future. They will never use a bank. It's like people in some of the developing world, they never need to use a laptop. They just have they just migrate from the day that they don't have a laptop to the day they have a mobile. They just skip the step, like laptop, right? They don't need that. They don't need a desktop, right? So this is similar. Like imagine when you have DeFi, what you need is only to download app from your mobile phone, and then you don't need to. And there's no KYC on the decentralized finance because it's not a centralized network. There's no KYC needed. There's no AML needed. You can just download the app and can access so many varieties of products there, which otherwise is unavailable. So I'm not promoting DeFi, but I just want to give you this thought that this is happening for real in this world, and it's going to change billions of people's life in this form. So maybe you're not part of it today, maybe you don't understand how it works, but this is going to be significant. So maybe it's good to pay a little attention to what's happening around us, to understand, ask a few more whys, and see like, oh, what is this? Check it out, and who will find this useful? Like just to keep a very open mind to what blockchain is bringing to us in finance and outside of finance. Okay, coming back to something that's more relevant to today's topic is investment, right? So I think at Matrixport, a lot of our product is surrounded this value of get more from your money. Like we are providing all sorts of different products which help you to basically earn more from what you have, right? So there are different categories of product. I have listed out some of the categories here. I would talk to through some of this product in greater details, but I'm probably not going to cover every single one of them. If you're interested, after this sharing, you can download the app from Richard's registration link, and then you can browse through and see which one are good for you. I would only talk about those ones which are very typical, very representative. and those a lot of users are currently using, and they find it helpful. So the first is fixed income product. If you put your money in bank right now, you are probably gaining like 3%, maybe less, or maybe a little bit more. That's your annualized yield, right? You put it in the deposit account, right? In crypto world, there is a stable coins. I would like to talk a little bit about what is that. So stablecoin is there's US dollar stablecoin called USDT and USDC. I'm going to refer to it very often, so I would like to explain what it is now, just for the sake of everyone. So there are issuers of stable coins. Stable coin is supposed to be stable, right? It's supposed to be pegged to a certain currency, for example, USDT, US dollar. So for USDC, it's issued by a company called Circle and Coinbase, who are issuers of this stable coin. So this stable coin is going to be like if someone want to mint the stable coin, get the stable coin, they need to transfer the real money to these issuers. Okay, and the real money stay with the real bank, and the smart contract is going to, upon the notification of the bank received a certain amount, they will issue an equivalent amount of stable coins in the token form to the market. So you can understand that one stable coin is backed by $1 in a bank, which is audited. It doesn't mean that all the stablecoin issuers are compliant or audited. So USDT, which is also called the Tether, is the world's first stablecoin, and also one with the largest market cap. If you look at this one, you can see that Tether is on number 3, right? USDT. Currently, there's 26 billion of Tether in circulation. Surprisingly, they are not regulated because there is no like $1 in the bank for one Tether issued. There's is $1 worth of asset existing for $1 one Tether issued. So which means that the exchange rate is not always 1-to-1. Sometimes 0.98. Sometimes it's like 1.02. Like for example, so Tether is not, technically speaking, not 100% stable. It's kind of, if you look at this, the price 0.996869 is almost stable, but there's some fluctuation because it's not 100% backed by the dollar in the bank. But USDC is a regulated compliant issuer, so which is backed by $1-to-1. So you can understand USDC as the sort of the very stable, very stable stable coin. But USDT, given its first mover advantage and its popularity and the liquidity, is the biggest, but it's not 100% regulated. So that's what I want to highlight, right? A lot of people see, okay, USDT, which one is the biggest stablecoin? Some people tell them it's USDT, and then they will get USDT, but please bear that price fluctuation or exchange risk in mind. It's not always stable, and because it's not 100% compliant, so there's always a layer of compliance risk, right? It depends on how you price it. The market has been sort of used to this risk, but certain people might be more cautious about that, and they might only want to be holding USDC, and that's fine, right? Okay, so fixed income product currently on Matrixport, in the crypto space, you can get around 8 to 12% of annualized yield on your stablecoin, on your USDT and USDC, and you probably can get around 4%, 3 to 4% annualized yield on your Bitcoin or Ethereum if you are depositing Bitcoin, Ethereum directly. So it's much higher, like in terms of the stablecoin, US dollar stablecoin yield, it's much higher than you put it in the bank. So there's such an obvious like arbitrage. So why this arbitrage exists? Why the gap hasn't closed yet? It's because that cryptocurrency world currently is not 100%. I would say it's still very small. It's still sort of like a niche market. The mass market or the financial institutions have not fully adopted it. So there's a supply demand in this micro environment, which is different from the in the greater like financial system, right? Where in this particular world, dollar supply or capital supply is still kind of short because the bank is not lending directly into crypto space right now. So there's certain limitations or registrations where if people want to borrow stablecoin in the crypto space, there are only certain providers that they can go to. For example, Matrixport, for example, some of our peers, we are like the bank in this space to providing dollars in stablecoin format to the people, right? So very strong demand, supply is yet to catch up. That's why the API, why the interest rate can be high, right? But in the future, I think this gradually will come down with the more capital injection into this space. The price, the arbitrage opportunity window eventually, I don't know how many years it will take, will go away, right? So why now? Why now crypto? Because currently you still have this very clear and easy arbitrage opportunity, which just simply can give you 5 to 6 percent more than having your money sit in a bank. The second type of product is a structured product. We have a very popular product which is called dual currency investment, which you can get around 20 to 100% or more, like APY. I will show you why this is so high, right? So people can use this kind of product to earn a really high yield. If they are a little bit more conservative, they're probably happy with 20 to 30%, like myself. Yes, last year I made probably around 400 investment into this dual currency investment. And my average yield was around 30%. So that's pretty good for me. Like certain people are more aggressive than me, so they probably are eyeing like 40 to 50%, and some people are more conservative and probably feel like 15 to 20% is happy enough. Like for me, like 30% is good for me, and is well risk adjusted, and I'm quite happy to stick to that range to when I make my investment. I will show you how later on. And the other like structured product like shark fin, which can give you a guaranteed return and with a certain attractive upside if price falls between certain range. And also like product which is called smart trend, which again, like the name suggests, it works well for a trendy market, where if let's say the market goes one way up or one way down, you can use smart trend to basically you're guaranteed with a bottom yield, which is between 2 to 4%. But if you get the direction right, let's say you predict the market is going up and the market actually goes up, in your prediction, you can have your yield amplified to 30 to 40%. So that's something that people really like to do in recent market, because the market goes up very quickly from like 30,000 to 37,000, and then come back 37,000 and come back to like 30,000. So it's kind of quite a wavy market where people feel that with this kind of product they can get the best out of it. And then just now I mentioned about DeFi, so we also have some DeFi products. We are a centralized financial platform, but why we have DeFi products? So basically we make the DeFi product easy for our users. We become a gateway for them to access various DeFi products, and we basically simplify that into one click. So people can basically come to our platform and then they can click DeFi product and they can decide to start to earn certain yield, and we have our product team on the back end to basically help to operate in the DeFi protocols, so that you can basically save that learning curve. Don't need to deal with all the hassle to deal with the DeFi because it's not very easy, right? You need to download the decentralized wallet. You need to understand how to pledge your asset into certain protocol, how to get the yield, how to sell the yield into your targeted asset, and how to send it back, right? So all this procedural stuff that need to be done is taken care by us at the back end. You don't need to see that. You don't need to know how much hassle it is. You just need to click one click, and then basically the yield is yours. So that's the gist of the product. And then there's also fund, which is more sophisticated investors for longer term. So we have launched like 6 funds, which are closed-ended funds where people need to like basically lock up their asset for 4 months or 6 months, depends on the term of the investment. Which for Bitcoin on average it probably can earn around 10 to 20% on the Bitcoin basis. For US dollar stablecoins, it's between like 20 to 40% annualized that they can earn on those funds. But it's for more sophisticated investors. So there is a minimum investment amount of 100K like US dollar or 5 BTC applicable for the application funds. So I just mentioned it. Yeah.
Cynthia, sorry if I interrupt. Some of the audience were asking what is APR. Maybe you go back one page and maybe just what is APR?
Annual yield, basically annual. So it's basically annualized yield. You can understand as annualized yield.
Okay, so it's annualized yield. So when it says, let's say 8 to 12% APY means 8 to 12% annualized yield.
Yeah.
Right. So because they hold it for a shorter period of time, so you'll be, adjusted accordingly.
Yeah, adjusted accordingly. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is a part that most people are interested to know before they make any investment, especially for digital assets, because there's so much news on the headline which about hacking, right? Certain digital asset was stolen from the exchange, right? So this become quite scary, like for people who don't know what's going on, right? And the security of investment is definitely the number one thing that you need to care about before make any investment. So I want to talk a little bit about this. So basically, Matrixport owns institutional custody business called Cactus Custody, which currently is a Hong Kong trust company. So it holds Hong Kong TCSP license, and currently also in application of Singapore's PSA license. We're also a member of Swiss FINMA SRO member. So currently, for the Cactus Custody, we are an institutional custodian for digital assets. We currently are holding 2 billion clients' asset under custody. That including like 1 billion of custodian asset, which are from different institutions like funds, for example. They could use us as institution custodian for their for custodying their assets. There are other third-party exchanges who are also using our custodian system to as their back-end wallet system. So we are providing like custodian solutions for more than 50 institutional clients currently. And Matrixport, the app you're using or the product you're using is also one of these 50 clients. So they're using Cactus Custody's backend system as well. So currently we've been running it for like Cactus Custody has been running for like 3 years since its inception, but there has never been any like security hazard occurred in any like amount in our system and for our clients. So that's a security level we provide. So for the custody system, there are basically 2 parts. There is a warm storage and there's cold storage. The warm storage is where the HSM, which is a hardware secure module, that's the hardware where the private key of the digital asset was stored. Right, you probably know that private key, public key stuff. So for digital asset, the private key is the only representation of the asset. So let's say if certain exchange has a security hazard, certain hackers that's cracking into that system, the exchange system, and stole their asset. What does that mean? That means that the hackers have get hold of the private keys of those Bitcoin or some other crypto asset, so that they are taking ownership of the Bitcoin, right? So this is a unique challenge for digital asset, because in order to provide the service, you need to make sure the private key is safeguarded. It's very safe, right? So we're using the HSM, which is a hardware secure module. It's a hardware to custodize the plain text of the private key. So and no one, including our own staff, cannot get hold or will never have eye contact of the client's private key, right? So that's very important. When the private key get out of the HSM, it become encrypted, so it's sort of secure, right? No one will be able to do anything with an encrypted private key. So we're not using software to encrypt the private key, which through the encryption process, the private might be leaked to the internal stuff. We're not using software encryption. We're using the hardware encryption, which is HSM, which has been used for 3 decades in the industry like aerospace, like military, and like banking, to safeguard the most secretive messages. Yeah. And there's also the cold storage part of it. So cold storage, for warm storage, you can basically withdraw your asset anytime, right? It's kind of instant because it's connected to online. It's an online system. It's connected to the internet. But for cold storage, it's not. It's 100% offline. So for our assets, we only put a small amount of that in warm storage to be able to cater to daily withdrawal of the users. For majority of them, we put in the cold storage. So it's offline system. So it's offline vault where because it's offline, it's not possible to hack. So currently we have 4 vaults, like cold storage vaults in the world, which are in Hong Kong, Singapore, Switzerland, and the US. So all these are based in tier 4 data centers. Tier 4 data center are the highest grade of data center in the world. They are used by the banks to put bullions. So that's the security level. So there are 24/7 armed guards in these data centers. There are private data room in this data center. So our equipment and the HSM is not commingled with any other users. And there's anti earthquake and also anti-flood mechanism, where even there's a strong earthquake or flood happened, there's no interruption of the operation of these data centers. And also the signals are also 100% shut off in the data center. So if you go into the data center, your phone will not receive any signal. So that is to provide additional protection. So so to share this is just to tell we're basically using bank vault grade data center. That's the physical security standard we adhere to. Yeah, so this is one of the data center we're using. It's one of the underground bunker. It's converted from a military bunker. So the wall is hardened with steel plates, and there's like 24/7 armed guards. And if you go into this data center, you need to do very strict access control and also biometrics checks before you can ever enter into this kind of facilities. Yeah, so it's very interesting that if you imagine like crypto is very light, where it's virtual, right? But actually on the back end, in order to protect a lot of the protect the assets, you're actually using a lot of heavy measures, right? In the world's most secure places in the world, and in a private room, data room, and you have HSMs, and you have off network basically facilities, equipment. So it's cut off from external connections. It's only bought on electricity when you need to basically withdraw the withdraw. And there's multi signature. It's multi sig. So one single data center cannot perform the withdrawal. It needs to be collaboration of two. There need to be collaboration between different data centers. So Hong Kong and Singapore data center need to collaborate. So there's no like one single person would be ever have the right to take away the asset, because there's so much additional security layers and designs have been put in place. Yeah. Okay. So that's a heavy part. Hope that give you a peace of mind when you put your asset into Matrixport. You know that we have done all we need to do to protect your asset with the highest standard in the world. Then I will come into some of the products that are kind of very helpful to help you to gain wealth or preserve your wealth in digital asset. The first one is called leverage bull. It's actually leverage trading. So when market run fast, I run faster. So what does it mean, right? So you can basically so this product basically help you to leverage up when market goes up. Or there's another product called leverage bear. If the market's going down, you could use that product to leverage to do leverage short. So there's a different underlying supported by this product. You can trade BTC. You can trade BTC is a short form of Bitcoin. You can trade ETH, which is short form of Ethereum. And you can trade Litecoin, which LTC, which is a short form of Litecoin. And then there's a very flexible leverage ratio. You can borrow from 1 to 1 to 5 times. And we will charge an interest rate for you to borrow the money. So for USDT, if you want to borrow stablecoin, it's like 9% annualized. So on daily basis, 0.0246%, and the interest is accrued hourly. So let's say if you can only borrow, let's say for 4 hours, and the market make a big move, and then you just close your position. You only need to pay the interest for 4 hours, not a day, and you can close your position anytime, right? So let's give an example. Let's say you are taking 5 times leverage when market is at 30,000. You think the market will go up, right? So you basically take a 5 times leverage, which means that you borrowed 120K USDC to buy 4 more Bitcoin, right? So basically now you have 5 Bitcoin, right? When market goes up to 40K in a week, in 7 days, your holding become like 200K. You basically pay back the borrowed assets. You borrowed 120, and then the interest, and the rest is your profit. So basically, this helps you to leverage do a leveraged trade when market is in a trendy goes up or down. You can amplify your returns by using this kind of product. So there's 2 directions, bull and bear. So up and down. It's very simple, one-click experience, and you pay as you go, because you only pay for the hours that you borrowed assets for. You don't need to pay for the rest of the day. And there's also very careful like risk controls calculations that have been done to monitor your loan to value, so you know like what's your leverage ratio and to what extent it's too high. We will send you signals, so you can put in more like deposits, like pledge as collateral, or you can close out your position before the position position get too risky. So we're currently providing very low interest rate, which is 9% for stablecoin and 4% for the other, like annualized for the other BTC, ETH, and BCH. So that's the lowest you can find in the market. The other platform like us, they probably charge more than double what we charge. Yeah, so we would like to give more to the users. The next one is called Smart Trend. This is one I briefly described just now. So when there's a trend, we encourage you don't fight against the trend, but ride on it, because you probably know that Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is a very it's a it's a product asset class that's often get a little bit sentiment driven, right? So when there's a trend, there's like new capital come in, right? Sometimes you will see the trend develop. So it's actually very good for like strategy like CTAs, because the kind of if you do trend following, it's actually quite easy to make money in the crypto space. So we have a product called Smart Trend Bullish and Smart Trend Bearish. So it's like two directions you can bet on. So for example, for this product, for the bullish, it's on the left. The minimum you can get is 3%, right, for the term of the investment, which is 15 days. And the maximum you can get is higher if you get the direction right. So let's say now the price is 35K. If the market is going up, let's say in 15 days, it's somewhere like 40K. You can get more than 3%. So it's a linear relationship between like 3% to 43.7%. Yeah, so it's the higher the market go, and when you get the market direction right, the higher yield it becomes. So it's help you to amplify your yield when your conviction is correct. But you also don't need to worry if you make a wrong judgment, right? Let's say if you think market goes up, but it actually goes down, it's fine, because you still get 3%. You will not lose your you will not lose your principal. In fact, you still get a small return. So this is kind of an interesting product for newbies, because a lot of newbies, when they came to crypto, they actually not very sure about where the market is going, right? Or they don't know, like, or maybe they have some feeling, okay, the market probably going up, but they don't know by how much, right? So it's a little bit harder for them to trade directly, right? To do leverage trading or do or trade futures. It's probably a little bit risky for them to do that, because they're still not 100% sure about this asset. But this product is probably bring you a peace of mind. You can sort of train your own sense of markets by using this product. The worst case is that you're wrong, but you will never lose money. So the one on the right is the reverse. It's a bearish, so you can bet the market goes down. If it goes down, you get more from your investment. So this product is available in USD stablecoins and also in BTC ETH. So for USD stablecoins, you invest in USD stablecoin and your yield is also in stablecoins. But if you are using like BTC to invest, your yield is also in BTC. So it gives you the same basis, the denomination as your investment asset. So you can use this to, let's say, gain more Bitcoin, right? You can hold Bitcoin, but you don't want to sell. You want to gain more Bitcoin. You can also use this product, but choose the Bitcoin version of the Smart Trend. Yeah, dual currency product. This is one of the most popular product on the platform. We give it a name. We call it "Grow Your Wealth Regardless of Market Volatility." I would show you like why we call it that. So this is the app screen. So on the app screen, you can see there's a lot of dual currency products. You can see there's annualized yield, there's a linked price, there's tenor, right? So if you scroll all the way down, you can see much longer tenor, like 40 days or sometimes even longer. The shortest is 1 day tenor. I'm just using 3 days tenor to give you a example. There are also 10 days, so it's really up to you, like which one you choose. So each of this line is a product. So there's only 3 things you need to care about. One is annualized yield, one is the link price, and one is tenor, right? So let's say now I have I purchased my cost of Bitcoin is 26,500. Let's say at that price I purchased my Bitcoin, right? So now the market is 35. It's on the right upper right corner. It's 35,000, right? So at this point in time, I might have certain thinking about my assets, right? I actually don't mind sell my Bitcoin when it hits 39,000, right? Because I already make a lot of money, right? I already make like 1/3 of money. Or let's say I also don't mind if it doesn't get to like 39,000, I can gain more Bitcoin because I want Bitcoin, right? People who get into Bitcoin, they always want to gain more Bitcoin. So this is a product that actually help you with this kind of situation, right? So let's say we take this one in red box for illustration, right? So I pick this one. This is 3 days, so it's going to expire on the 5th of February, this Friday, and the link price is 39,000, and the annualized yield is 53.53%. So for 3 days, the actual yield is 0.44%, right? Okay, so now I invest in 1 Bitcoin into it, right? So there are only going to be 2 scenarios. So when it settles on Friday, there's only one variable that I don't know, which is the settlement price. I don't know on that day whether the settlement price is going to be bigger than 39% or greater or equal to 39%. But there are only going to be these 2 scenarios. So if the settlement price on Friday is less than 39%, so it goes up, it didn't goes that much, goes up that much, I'm actually gaining the interest in Bitcoin. So I'm getting more Bitcoin back, and the yield I'm getting is 0.44%, which give me an annualized of this 53%, right? But let's say if it goes up beyond 39,000, when it settles, I'm actually converting my principal, which is 1 Bitcoin, and my interest, which is 0.44%, all into USDC. Basically, you can understand that as basically I take profit as 39% plus interest I gained for 3 days.
Cynthia, sorry. When you say 39%, I think you meant 39,000.
Oh, 39,000. Yes, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just want to make sure they understand.
Yeah. So you see the gist of this product. So basically, what is it like? It's basically like selling a covered call, right? Selling a covered call. But why the yield is so high is because on the implied volatility of Bitcoin, of digital asset is very high now, right? If you are selling covered call for US dollars, it's probably much less, right? It's probably less than 10%. But now for Bitcoin, because the underlying volatility is so high, you can still enjoy a pretty high premium when you sell your covered call. So it's become a very interesting investment product because basically you can keep earning. You can keep, if you choose your linked price, which is a strike price, carefully. Don't choose it to be too close to, say, I will never choose this 36,000, right? Because it's crazy yield, but it's also very risky. It's very easy to get to in 3 days, right? Given the volatility of the asset. Like for me, I probably only look at this 29%, 29.2%, and 53.53 because I think that's there is a chance, but there's very little chance. I think it will goes to 40,000 in 3 days. And I'm pretty happy to gain more, like earn more like Bitcoin, right? If it ever gets sold at 39,000, I think I'm fine because I mean I'm already happy with what I earn, right? So when you choose dual currency, always ask you if in worst case scenario the link price is hit, are you okay to sell that price? If you're okay, fine, go for it. But if you're not okay, maybe you should choose a safer link price. So this product is also available in other currencies. So for this one, I invest in Bitcoin, so I should earn more Bitcoin. Otherwise, I earn more US dollar stablecoin, right? So there's also ETH version of it. There's also BCH version of it. There's also USDT and USDC version of it. So I'm going to show you the USDC version of it. So it's basically like the reverse. You can see that the link price now is lower than the spot price, right? So which means that you can potentially buy at dip, right? So for this one, I invest in stablecoin. I invest in basically dollar equivalent, right? And then I'm using this a lot, actually more than I use a Bitcoin, because I have more stablecoin in hand. So this is probably more relevant to you as well. So let's say I invest in 10,000 USDC, right? So now the tenor is 12 days, 10 days. Okay, 10 days. I choose a 10 days tenor, right? So after 10 days, if the market is above 28,000, is above 28,000, so never drop below this link price line, then I will get my principal and my interest in stablecoin. So I earn like $32, right? I earn $32. But if it goes below like 28,000, then everything is converting into BTC, so including my principal and my interest. And the conversion price is this link price is 28,000. So which means I'm buying Bitcoin at 28,000. So this one is very good to use because for me, I want to grow my dollar, which is fiat, right? Equivalent of asset. I want to gain a good interest, right? So for this, I can keep earning like high interest, like 10 to 20%, very easy. I can earn it. But let's say I can choose a link price, which is sort of close to the price that I think I can acquire Bitcoin, which is below market price. If it ever get hit, means I'm buying at a dip. I can get Bitcoin at that price. So because a lot of time you want to say, okay, I want to put my US dollar in a idling, and then when market crash, I would just run into the market and buy Bitcoin at low. But how many people can do that? Because when market actually falls, you will be scared. You will feel panic. You'll feel that market will further drop. Like what happened in last March. Market dropped around 3,500 and bounced back like a V shape. Many little people actually buy at the bottom, right? They didn't manage to, or they didn't dare to. But the market never goes so low, right? So they basically miss the opportunity to buy at low. So this product actually help you to basically earn in stable coins when market is all right, like not going down, right? And earning stable coins, it's fine. But when it goes down, it help you to capture the market opportunity to buy at dip. So this is something I personally like to use very much. And then if you want some ease of mind, of course you can choose a more like sort of passive product, right? You don't need to make any judgments. You don't need to really think hard about where market goes. You can just basically make a worry-free deposit and then earn it. So that's what I mentioned. Like we do have fixed income investment on the app where there is US dollar equivalent like USDT, USDC. There's also Bitcoin, BCH, LTC. They're generating yield in the type of currency you invest in. So currently, I would like to introduce this to everyone. We are celebrating our 2nd year anniversary, so we're giving like some special product on the app, which is higher than normal. So for USDT, there's a 14 days, 15% annualized yield product currently on app, and also for BTC there's 8%. So feel free to sort of make use of it if you like. Yeah, and another product is a DeFi product, which is like similar to fixed income. It's like a deposit account, but it's on the back end of it. For the DeFi, the back end of it is lending and borrowing, because we take the money, we take your investment and we lend it out to other people, right? But we're taking collateral of the other people, so we're not lending out nakedly. We're taking over collateralization of the other people's assets when we lend out. So that's how the interest was generated. That's where the interest was generated. But for DeFi, it's a different way to generate. We're lending out through the DeFi network, decentralized finance protocols. So we're not lending out to directly to one user on our platform. Instead, we're using this DeFi protocols to access other users on the other end of the protocol. So it's still similar in your user experience. You still deposit and you forget, and you grow your digital asset when you sleep. So this is called DeFi Smart Pool, where we basically help our users to earn interest on an hourly basis. So it's hourly interest compounding. So the last hour's interest becomes the principal for the next hour's investment. Of course, this involves a lot of like human operation on the back end from the product side, but like for our users, it basically is kind of it's an interesting product, so they can use. Yeah, so I think I covered some of the products that a lot of users use. Of course, there are certain products I didn't have time to cover, which is called a shark fin, which you probably find it like you probably find it interesting if you hold Bitcoin, and that product is it's launched every Friday evening, so you can take a look of that. It'll give you a yield on your Bitcoin. When market is within certain price range, you get a high yield. When people when market knock out from that range, you get a lower yield, but you still get a yield. So it's a little bit similar concept as smart trend, but it's a different payoff chart. Yeah, so if you have Bitcoin, you want earn yield, you can take a look of that every Friday evening on the app. Yeah, and for the funds, we do launch it on regular basis. It's not always there. It's when we have it, we're definitely going to announce it through our communities or on the app. So stay tuned. At the end of this sharing, I would like to share like what Richard has encouraged me to like sort of provide a step by step go through with everyone, which is sort of a welcome offer that we have on the app for the new registrations. So for new users, when you download the app, we will have a trial money for you to try out the dual currency product. So the trial amount is 1,288 USDC. So that's a face value of the trial money. You can use that to try a short term, like 1 day or 2 day, like dual currency product. So when it get when it get expired in 1 or 2 days after you make the investment, you might make a profit, right? If you make a profit, that profit is yours. It will be saved into your app, and next time you purchase it, you can use basically that profit as a coupon to make your next purchase, help you deduct maybe $8 or $10, right? So the process is that when you use let's say Richard's referral link, you can go to the registration page and you do a small quick registration, and then it leads you to the app download page where you just download it from the test flight or app store, and then you get then you install the app. So then you click get started. Then basically at the banner in the bottom of the app, you are able to see this new user only 1,288 USDC. So you just click the banner to log in. You log in with your registration information. So basically you can use it now. Okay, you can use it now. So it will lead you to one of the products. Basically you can choose to use this. It will tell you, okay, free USDC trial, this is a product. So you can basically use that product. Okay, so then there's a there's a button on the bottom for you to basically use and click. If you want to know more about the product, you can also basically watch the product video. It's in the app. You can just click and watch the video. It's short, and it help you to explain how it works. But I think through my sharing just now, you probably already understand how it works. It's quite intuitive, right? So now you click invest now, and then you get into the a sort of small investor quiz, because this product involves selling it's like structured product, involves selling like covered costs. So we want to make sure our users understand what is going on, right? So we have a small like 3-question for true and false quiz. You need to sort of answer to get you through, okay, what is this about? It probably take you 1 minute or less, because it just, you need to choose true and false. If you ever choose wrongly, it's fine. You just need to try it again. So it will not block you out. So once that's done, you basically confirm you understand the product, then you can make the investment. Yeah. Yeah. Then basically done. The whole process should take you like probably 1 or 2 minutes. And after it's invested, you will receive SMS or email for your order for your order confirmation. And on the next day, or the 2 days later, when it goes settled, you receive another notification, basically telling you the results, right? So you can come back and check on your app, see whether you make any money, right? If you don't make money, you can try it again. So it's for you to try until you make money. Yeah. So that's it. And also for new users, we also have a 7-day, like 18% stablecoin welcome offer. So it's for 7 days. So it's ultra high interest for 7 days. So feel free to use that as well. I think you can use it together with this one. I think these two are, you can enjoy both, right? This is for all users, and it's for longer term, like 14 days. And the 18% welcome offer is for new users. It's for 7 days. It's shorter, but it's higher interest. So you can probably enjoy both of these offerings. Yeah, so basically that's all from me. Thank you, Richard, for giving me the time to talk about crypto, and also share a little bit a few interesting products with everyone. And I think the QR code on the right is app download link for Matrixport. So if you're interested, you can scan the screen, use your phone, and then download the app. I think this is all I want to share, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Right. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Wow, do you have water near you?
Yes, I do have it.
You
But
deserve to drink water.
yeah,
Thanks for the thanks for all the comprehensive sharing about the industry, and also about the background about Matrixport, and also walk us through how Matrixport can help people who hold crypto to earn even more crypto, right? To capture the volatility, for example, right? As the name of the webinar suggests, using the products such as the dual currency product. So for those of you who know options, just now you will hear Cynthia mentioned that a dual currency is like selling covered call, right? So you can Google covered call, and you may be able to understand what that means. But instead of using stocks, they are using crypto, right? So the bearish side of things would be like selling a cash secured put. So if you Google cash secured put, then essentially that's what you're doing when you're betting on the bearish side of things. Am I correct?
That's right. That's right.
Right? So it's actually options, okay?
Yeah.
It's actually options on crypto. All right. So yeah. So usually when I invite speakers, I try to do a bit of bargaining lah, to get a bit of a extra bonus for our community here. So thankfully, Cynthia and her team was gracious to extend to us a extra special bonus for our community. So which I would like to share with you. All right. So before I go on to the questions, I just want to make good the promise I have for you on how you can get the extra offers. Okay. So let me now take back the screen.
Do I need to exit?
No, you don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, if you want to open a Matrixport account, you need to use our special link so that Matrixport knows that you belong to our community. And on the screen right now is the QR code that you can scan. And if you scan this QR code and you open your Matrixport account via this link, you will be recognized as a member of our community, and then the benefit will be extended to you. All right. So please, if you need, this video will be recorded and will be emailed to you. You can either take a screenshot, take a photo of this QR code, and then you can open the account later on. So this offer, Matrixport is available worldwide. So anyone in the world can take up this offer. Okay, so please use this QR code to scan, and then the Matrix, so that Matrixport will know that you are from our community. And this 1288 USDC free trial, from what I understand from Cynthia, is that it can only be used on a dual currency product.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you log into the app and you claim this offer, go to the dual currency product and you can play around there. So essentially, you're playing with house money, right? So you can't withdraw this 1288. Just want to make it clear, okay? So,
Right.
yeah, but you can use this 1288 USDC to experience how simple it is to invest into their dual currency product using crypto, right? Essentially, it's covered call and a cash secured put. Okay, so and correct me if I'm wrong, Cynthia. If they make a loss, they don't have to pay anything. But if they make a profit, they
Yeah.
get to keep it. Is it?
Yeah, they get to keep it. So that's going to be used as a coupon for their next purchase.
Right. So you hear that from Cynthia. You lose money, it's okay. You make money, you get it as like a credit inside your account, and you can use it to offset your next investment, your next real investment in Matrixport. Okay. So remember to use this QR code to open your Matrixport account. So the second extra bonus that I didn't share with you in my communication with you, because it's something extra that Matrixport has just given to our community, is this. All right. So if you open your Matrixport account using our link by scanning this QR code, and if you decide to really invest $100 or more in crypto equivalent into any of the products, Matrixport will give you 5 USDT about 10 days later.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like a 5% guaranteed in 10 days, so is if you look at it that way. So depending on the amount you invest, so from what I understand is that Matrixport products are minimum $100 or more and above. So that's literally 5% free. This is real USDT that you can withdraw. So if you want to test it out, you want to play around, and you just put in a small amount to kick the tire, well, grab this deal as well. So this $5 USDT free offer is only until 28th of February. So after you open the account, after you click around, after you play with the 1288 free trial on a dual currency, if you really intend to put in real crypto to invest into their product, so that's when this $5 will come in. All right. So again, this offer is available internationally, and it will end on the 28th of February this year. So if you want to earn real money and want to get this 5% guaranteed, if you put in $100, they'll give you $5. So it's a great deal. So thank you, Cynthia, and your team for giving our community this offer. All right. So with that, these are the two cool offers for our community. Take advantage of it, and I'll move on to look at the questions. Okay. Let me see. Okay. CH just gave us what APY mean. It means annual percentage yield.
Yes.
Annual percentage yield or
Sorry for
annualized.
using the jargon. It's just annualized yield.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so annual. Thanks, CH, for that interpretation.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Ross Lee is asking whether Matrixport have any insurance coverage in the event of loss due to hacking kind of thing.
Yeah, so we basically have an internal insurance fund for that purpose. Yeah, so currently that fund is around 10 million. Yeah, so basically if there anything that happens to our assets, we're going to use that fund to give back the loss. Yeah, so far we have not used the fund.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So thanks, Cynthia. Rosalie, I hope that answers your question. And Mark is asking whether Matrixport perform audit, as in annual
Uh,
audit.
I don't think we have it now, but you mean the auditing of the company?
Auditing of your holdings.
Oh, auditing of the holdings. No, but actually, we a lot of the holdings is in addresses. So there's a basically I mean we don't publicize the addresses, but yeah, but actually technically there's a way to basically check what's the balance in those addresses. No, but we currently doesn't have audited have auditing sort of record on the crypto holdings.
Okay, I'm sure the clients who put big amounts. Matrixport is holding like what, 2 billion
Yeah, client
worth of crypto
assets.
custodized with you.
Yeah, around 1 billion is in the Coctus custody as a custodian sort of offering, where those clients are custodian clients, institutional custodian. The other 1 billion is the various users that currently using Matrix app or web portal to deposit and to invest. Yeah, so
Right, that's a
it's
huge amount of money.
yeah, it's been growing quite fast for the past 1 year, given the recent bull runs. Definitely help growing the AUM.
Right. And then you guys have like what, 180 people on staff. That's also a big operation. When I see the data center you have built underground, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's not built by us. I mean, it's
Yeah,
built by other people. But yeah, we're a tenant in it.
yes, understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mark, I hope that answers your question. Chai Huat is asking, what's the minimum tenure in terms of hours for the loan? It means how short can the loan be?
I think for the standard loan, I think it's probably as short as a day, 7 days. 7 days, yeah. But for I mean, it depends on which loan you're talking about. If you're talking about the collateralized loan, so there's a kind of lending which is that you can pledge your Bitcoin or Ethereum as a collateral, where you can borrow stable coins, basically borrow cash. So I think for that is the shortest is 7 days. But if you're talking about leveraged bull and bear, where you basically borrow to trade, and that shortest is 1 hour. So you can borrow this hour and return next hour.
Right, 1 hour. So Chai Huat, I hope that answers your question in terms of how many hours the shortest minimum for the loan. All right. Let me see. Chris is asking, how is settlement price determined for dual currency? Who dictates that price?
Yeah. So basically, uh, settlement price is basically you can understand it as a representation of the spot price. So that is determined by us referencing, I think, 7 exchanges, spot exchanges, and taking average of that 7 prices. So that price is not determined on our platform or on our exchange. It's basically arithmetic average of 7 other exchanges that are unrelated to us, which trying to be more representative of where market really is.
Right. So, Chris, I hope that answers your question. And Dennis is asking, where's the referral link? It's on your screen, the QR code. So, if you scan the QR code, it will bring you to a web page where you can register for your account. So, that's what it is. And this this webinar is being recorded. And for those of you who have registered, you'll receive an email, and the referral link will also be inside. Okay. So, let me see. Now, CH is asking whether the funding can be done in SGD. I think CH, this is not a fiat world that Matrixport is offering. They are offering crypto's financial services. So whatever you want to put in will have to be in crypto form. So you got to get your crypto from somewhere else. And am I correct to say that?
Yeah, let me share. There's a way to get crypto on the platform, which is if you have the app with you, on towards the bottom part of it, you can see there's a function called buy crypto. So you can basically use your credit card to buy crypto, and use your credit card, which that credit card supports SDG. So there's a way that you can buy crypto on Matrixport using your credit card in SDG. So the crypto you can buy currently also includes like Bitcoin, Ethereum, I think USDT as well, BCH, LTC, XRP, a couple of like mainstream stable coins. Yes, so there's an option, but that option is operated by a partner. Is payment partner called Simplex. So they are a payment gateway in Europe. So basically partner with it. So there's a transaction cost associated with buying crypto with cryptocurrency with credit card. I think that's probably around 5%. So we don't charge that. That's charged all by Simplex by providing these services. In fact, we provide some subsidy for that. So for your first purchase, beyond like $100, we actually you can claim like 4 USDT back for your first purchase with our customer service afterwards. So basically, we help the first time purchaser to sort of lower that cost a little bit.
Right. Thank you, Cynthia, for that comprehensive answer. So I hope that answers your question, CH. And Chris is asking, let me see. Oh, okay. So okay, Chris' question is related to CH question, which is basically saying that you can buy crypto through the Matrixport app, right? Okay. Alva is asking whether Matrixport is regulated by MAS.
Currently, MAS last year they issue basically a new law. They passed a new law called Payment Service Act, in short form PSA in Singapore, because they basically see cryptocurrency as a means of payment. So that's why they include the regulation towards cryptocurrency under this law, PSA. So that kind of is right into the law already. So the companies who provide the cryptocurrency services need to apply for this law. And because we also apply for this license, we also applied for this license in 2020 after it went basically the right into the law. But currently, I think because of COVID-19 situation, we are among the probably 200 applicants in this PSA, but it hasn't MAS has not approved any license yet. I think once it get approved, hopefully in early part of 2021, we should be among the first batch of companies get granted. And because we operate before the PSA actually came into place, so MAS granted us a grace period, so we can operate while we are waiting for our application.
Right. Thank you, Cynthia, for that comprehensive answer. Alpha, I hope that answers your question. Okay, let me see. All right. Okay, Paul is asking, how come, the interest can be so high? So how do you guys make money?
It really depends on which product you are talking about. So, like mentioned, there are two types of products. One is based on lending and borrowing, so like fixed income product. That yield is coming from like we lend out assets to other users, right, on the platform in a collateralized way. I think in the early part of my presentation, I described that currently the uh, crypto market is still kind of a niche market, so it's not 100% connected with the greater financial market. So the access of US dollar or capital in the crypto space is still kind of restricted. That's why you see this demand is the weight is skewed towards the demand side. Yeah, so that's because of that, the interest could be high. But I think in the future, in probably 2 or 3 years time, with more regulation, with like more banks providing these services, there will be more capital coming into the industry. Therefore, the interest might gradually come down. So that's one reason. The other reason why it's so high for some other structured products, as I explained earlier, is based on options. So you're basically selling options to get a premium, and that premium is annualized into a yield that you are getting. So that's primarily associated with implied volatility of the market. And because currently the market of cryptocurrency is kind of speculative, right? It's always been one of the more speculative asset class out there. So the volatility is high, and also because there's a lot of news that kind of driving the market. Um, for example, the GameStop, right? The GameStop and the Elon Musk suddenly put Bitcoin as a signature on his Twitter. Like all these kind of things kind of provide sparkles into the market and creates volatilities or expectation of volatilities. So the volatility really has been really high this year. I think on average in 2020, especially towards Q3, Q4, when there's a lot of mainstream adoption, news about mainstream adoption, about certain listed companies start to have Bitcoin or see Bitcoin as one way to for their treasury management, and certain listed companies on Nasdaq hold start to hold 100 million and gradually hold more, and now probably 1 billion of digital asset on its balance sheet. So all this news kind of creates sparkles in the market and been driving the market higher and higher. And the volatility also has been kept above like 100% annualized for quite a while.
Right. Thank you, Cynthia. So I think the answer to the question would be there's a window of opportunity, right? So currently, because of the high volatility, and if you know options, when there's high volatility, the premium when you sell the options is also high. So that's why the interest can be so high. So how long will these volatilities remain high? We will never know. So yeah, so if you are into this kind of risk profile, and if you are already holding crypto, if you understand what is covered call, what is cash secure puts in the options world in the traditional finance market, then what Matrixport provides is the crypto equivalent of it,
Yeah.
right? Except that they make it simpler.
As a rule of thumb, like the more the underlying asset become, like the bigger the underlying asset become, like the bigger the AUM basically of the whole market, the lower the volatility will be, right? Because if you look at the previous volatility in the previous cycles, like when Bitcoin is much younger, it's even more crazier, right? It's easily could gain like 100 times over a year, right? Now you're gaining like 3 times last year, and people think that's good, right? But if you're in the market early enough, you know that in the early stage, people are seeing like 100 times in a year. So that's especially exactly what how like the process when you see a certain asset class to grow from a very new and young baby into a like teenager and maybe into an adult, and gradually the volatility also comes down. Right now, you cannot imagine like other, like for example, gold have such a high volatility because it's much bigger market. So I think when Bitcoin catch up with, like, let's say the gold AUM, you will also at the same time see the volatility is driven down.
Right. Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, I think we'll take one last question, and this comes from Daniel, because it's 10 o'clock, so we are on time. So, Daniel is asking, does Matrixport allow user to convert one crypto to another crypto?
Oh yes, so there's a trade function on the app, in the app, which basically allow you instant conversion from one to the other. So basically, when you have crypto, any form of crypto, you can just transfer it to Matrixport, and if you need another crypto to invest, you can also sort of do that exchange on Matrixport anytime. That's 24/7.
Right, that's wonderful. So I hope that answers your question, Daniel. And with that last question, I'll just like to thank Cynthia for her time,
Thank you.
to share with us about how we can capture the profits from the volatile crypto market, and also give us a very comprehensive walkthrough of how Matrixport's app have made it simple for everyone to enjoy the volatility or profits from crypto. Okay, and all the way from Hong Kong.
Thank you, Richard. It's a pleasure talking to like your community, and I always feel honored to be able to share what's happening about crypto, why people believe in that, and why it's an asset to stay with people who are less familiar with the crypto or not yet owning any crypto yet, because I feel it's kind of a very honorable mission to tell people about this. Maybe you don't invest it today, maybe you invest it 2 years later, but I think it's Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general, and also blockchain technology in general is it's something that's going to change the world in a profound way. And I do encourage like people like you and me who want to learn, who want to explore, to pay attention to these trends.
Yes, excellent, wise words, Cynthia. And for every one of you who have stayed with us till the end, both inside the webinar room as well as on YouTube Live, thank you so much for your time. And please remember to scan the QR code to open your Matrixport account to enjoy the two very special offer that Cynthia and her team have prepared for our community, and to be kept posted of more crypto insights and upcoming webinars. Please join our Passive Crypto Wealth Telegram channel. All right, so with that, have a good week, everyone, and Cynthia, have a good week as well.
Thank you. Bye. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.